If you're in a small and medium-sized business, as a salesperson, your impact is tremendous to that business. You matter so much to that business. The mission was never again should a startup fail because they couldn't figure out sales. That's a problem we could solve for them.
So we didn't set out to create a CRM. We set out to create software to help salespeople do their job better.
I've used other CRMs. It was like a chore to go in and update my leads and update my activity.
You have to have an army of consultants come in to set everyone up. I mean, with Close, you can get started in minutes.
We believe that most of the value in the world, in the business world, is created in the follow-up and the follow-through, because that is the space where most value is today being destroyed. When you learn how to follow up and follow through effectively, you are crushing it. I guarantee you, you're running a race that nobody else is competing against. You are going to win.
We give you kind of everything you need to run an efficient sales process. A phone number where with one click you can start making calls, or all of your emails are automatically integrated.
Close gives us the opportunity to have all of those communication points in one view. So I can see exactly how someone else in marketing talked to person A last week, and then if I go to follow up, I have that context of what they've already discussed.
When we're building Close, we're always thinking about how can we make the lives of our customers better, easier, how can we reduce a bunch of clicks from their workflow, help them have some new kind of superpower in sales that they didn't have before.
We use our own product day in and day out, and we care about that experience.
We want to make salespeople in small and medium-sized businesses more successful, help them make their businesses more successful, and that's really what we want to accomplish in the world.
All right. Welcome, everyone. My name is Nick Persico, and I'm the Director of Sales here at Close, and I'm coming to you live from my dining room table. So super excited to be your host today. We have a ton to cover, and really what we're going to learn about today is getting value out of custom activities in Close. Custom activities is the newest feature we just launched. We're really excited about it. We spent a lot of time and effort in making sure we get this right. And what I want to do today is accomplish three things. First, I want to explain custom activities in detail, so at the end of this webinar, you know exactly how to use it and how you can implement it into your business. Second, I'm going to show a couple of demos with the help of another friend of mine that will come in and actually debut a brand new integration that leverages the power of custom activities. And then third, and probably most importantly, that throughout this entire 30, 40 minutes we have together here, we're going to answer your questions. So if you have a question right now, this instant, just go into the questions tab within Livestorm, ask your question, and we will answer it in real time. So what you'll be able to do is two things: learn and see what we're going to demonstrate here today with custom activities, and then also get all of your questions answered surrounding custom activities or anything related to it. So again, my name is Nick. I'm going to be your host, and we're going to go get right to it. So first up, we're going to explain how custom activities, why it's important, and how to get started with it. And instead of boring you with a slide deck and going through each and every point, we're just going to show you a fancy video, and then I'll meet you right after on the other side.
Every business utilizes its own unique sales and marketing process. But a CRM doesn't take this into account unless you build one from scratch or spend a fortune on customizations and consultants. Until now. Introducing Custom Activities in Close, a powerful way to capture the most relevant data for your sales approach. Instead of having your sales team jump through hoops and different apps to log important information, they can do it all from within Close. With Custom Activities, you can track and act on qualifying calls, form and survey completions, event and webinar RSVPs, website chat messages, invoices and billing. The possibilities are limitless. Effortlessly create templates for the activities that are most relevant to you, ensuring enhanced clarity and context on every lead. And with search, filtering, and smart views, the data is always at your fingertips. Bring structure, accuracy, and extraordinary speed to your sales process. with custom activities in Close.
That video is fire. Gets me hyped up every single time that I watch it. Now that we have a basic understanding of what custom activities are and how they can be valuable and what problem they solve, now let's go through and actually show you how to set up your first custom activity and then use it directly within the app. The example that we're going to use for this demo is a pretty common sales activity, and that's the sales qualifying call. It's important when you're building a sales process to where you have a step in that process be qualifying. Because not only do you need to get key information from a prospect to understand where they're coming from and what their needs are, you also need to use it as a benchmark to decide if you're going to pursue them or not. And in other words, are they qualified or are they going to get value out of your product or service? And you need to work to sell super hard for the ones that are, and then build a process that neatly handles the ones that are not. And you don't want to waste your team's time by trying to sell a bunch of unqualified leads. So the challenge that we're trying to solve with custom activities in this example is creating a workflow for a salesperson to be able to reach out to a lead and then also log the information that they get from that lead all within the same window. And we use custom activities to make that happen. So now that I'm in my settings and custom activities, I want to create this new custom activity called sales qualifying call. So I'm going to click new activity type. I'm going to call this activity sales qualifying call. Now I can restrict the editing of this specific activity by applying a certain set of role or roles to this, but for this sake of the demo, I'm just going to leave this alone. But then I can also, if this is a custom activity that is just going to be used via automation, and we'll get through how to automate with Zapier and all that in a little bit later. But this feature is here to where you can hide it from the UI, so your users don't see it if you're trying to automate some data in the background. But for this case, we don't need that. We definitely want this to be in the UI. So now I'm going to save this. And now it's time for me to build my fields that the salesperson is going to fill out as they're working through that qualifying call. So what you can sort of think of this as is not only as a place for them to log the data, but also a guide of in what order they should be asking the questions. So first up, the first field that we want to work with is the contact field. So we want to know in this specific event which person on that lead the salesperson talked to. So I'm going to choose the contact multiple field because it's highly likely that they can be talking to multiple people on a conference call. So I'm just going to call this contact. And then in the description field, which shows up in the UI on the custom activity, I'm going to highlight the person or people you spoke with on this call. Now, what I'm allowed to do is actually make this field required, so the salesperson can't save it without putting this information in. That's critical to maintaining data cleanliness and streamlining it, and also setting an expectation of what data you want the salesperson to be gathering on this call. Another good feature of custom activities is that we allow you to create shared fields. This is a new concept within Close, and really what this allows you to do is use or repurpose the same field that you're going to use across different custom activities. A contact is a good example to share it across. So then when you're creating new custom activities, you can go and just select from the shared menu. So that again allows you to have that data cleanliness. So now I have this first field. Now I'm going to add a second field, and I'm going to have that be where they heard about us. So this is a question that you're having the salesperson ask them on the call. And I'm going to make this a choice field because there's only a certain amount of places where they could have heard about us. So a couple of those are going to be a Google search. Maybe we buy some billboards, so they saw us on a billboard, or they got a referral from someone else. Ask, and then I'm going to give my description to the salesperson. Ask where they heard about our service. Okay, then another field I'm going to want to know as part of this particular sales process example is I want to know the budget. How much are they able to spend on this project? I'm going to make this required as well. And then I want to know the timeline. When is this going to happen? When will they be ready? Timeline. We'll save that. And then I want to make it possible for the salesperson to add additional notes. So additional notes / context. And then give to the salesperson, what else do we need to know? Okay, now I have my sales qualifying call custom activity ready to go. Next up is showing you how to actually create the custom activity right within the lead view. Now that we have our first custom activity set up, now I'm going to show you how to actually log a custom activity directly within the lead view. So let's say I'm on a lead, this is the Bluth company, and this is a new lead that came in via one of our website forms. So now, as a salesperson, I'm going to put my salesperson hat on now. What I want to do, obviously, is reach out to them and qualify them. So let me show you what it looks like where I'm making a call and close and actually logging the activity at the same time. And you'll see as I do this, that not only am I able to log the information in the same screen, but also the custom activity description field is going to allow me to guide the salesperson through that qualifying process. So I'm going to call this lead. Got the call coming in through close. Trying to reach out to Job. Okay. The call gets answered. So now I'm on the call. This is a live call in close. And I'm going to make my intro pitch to Job and start talking to him, get some small talk going, and have my initial call notes here. But now once I've switched to qualifying time, where I'm going to start asking them some questions to understand and get down to brass tacks here, I just go to the activity drop down, click sales qualifying call, and then the form drops down. So now I know I'm talking to Job, so I'm going to select Job as the person. This contact field is pulling the contacts together. Then I'm going to ask, okay, where they heard about us. So now I'm going to put they found us on a Google search. I'm going to put in the budget of $50,000. So while I'm actually on the call and talk to them, I'm able to fill this information out. Don't have to type my notes and then fill in a form and some other product later. It's just here. And then I'm going to finish up by following up with a formal proposal. And then done. There is the qualifying call activity. So as a salesperson, I never left the close app. I logged all the information that we needed to get in terms of the qualifying call, and then my activity was logged. The last part of the demonstration I'd like to show you is finding custom activity events within search, and then also adding custom activity events to your activity reporting. So first up is search. What we've done is in the narrow your results filters tool here, we've added all of the custom activities that you have with your account. So we have here the sales qualifying call that I just logged and just demonstrated. What you're able to do is filter and find the specific sales qualifying calls that are that contain the data that you want to get to. Now, a couple of use cases for this. One, you just want to create a list of all the instances where this custom activity took place on a lead. And the best way to do that is that if you take one of the fields, especially one of the required fields, and just select, in this case, contact person is present. So any custom activity where it's present, and then I've got that filter down there. Another is for attribution and data reporting, or really trying to dive into the data and understand what some of this stored data has. So, for instance, if I just want to just talk to the ones where where the timeline is with a certain date, or the budget is greater than a certain amount. So in this case, I'll do more than 10,000. This allows you then to say, okay, here are all the custom activities where the budget is more than 10,000. And then what you can do is export this and then go and sift through and look through the data even cleaner. So we've really given you, root access to the database of all the events that have taken place as you add custom activities into Close. So that's search. Next up is reporting. So we've added custom activities to your activity reporting, and this is going to enable you to do a lot of things. These activities that salespeople do or that happen within the sales and marketing journey that you put together, it's good to know how many times a given event has happened, more than just the activity, the standard activity in terms of calls, emails, opportunities created, and things like that. Now you can add these custom activities to the field. So what I could do here is in the activity overview report, I'm going to add a tile, and then I'm going to search for the sales qualifying call, and then boom, I have it loaded right there. So now as part of my activity reporting, I can go in and see how many of a specific custom activity that we've done. We also added it to the leaderboard. So if you have a leaderboard of sales development representatives or BDRs or SDRs, you can actually create a leaderboard to see what is the leaders that have done the sales qualifying call activity. So really powerful there. Same in the comparison reports. We've added the column to look at the sales qualifying call as well. So that's custom activities in reporting and in search. Okay, I hope that demo explained custom activities in detail, and you feel like now you can go into your Close account and create a bunch of custom activities and start tracking all the things in your sales and marketing journey that you give for your prospects and customers. Now we're going to turn to a new integration. This integration is in beta. It just launched a few days ago. And to tell us more about it, I'm going to introduce my friend Colin from Highways.io, who's going to take us through a brand new integration with Intercom. Take it away, Colin.
Hi there and welcome to this video. My name is Colin. I'm the co-founder and lead developer here at Highways. In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect Intercom to Close using our brand new product called Sync. I'm going to show you how to automatically create contacts and leads as conversations are created and updated in Intercom, along with how you can map transcripts, so that's full conversations from Intercom into Close, and also how to map your data attributes, including custom attributes from Intercom into your custom fields in Close. To get started, you need to come to our website, highways.io, or navigate to sync.highways.io, and you'll be greeted with the login screen for our new tool. If you're new to Highways, or if you already use our workflow apps, you'll need to go ahead and register a new account by clicking register here in the top right hand corner. But I'm going to go ahead and log into my system here, and we'll get started by setting up what we call syncs, and that is connections between your systems. So we're going to create a sync between Intercom and Close. On the left hand side here, I'm going to choose syncs, and you can see I have a number of syncs already set up here for Intercom and Pipedrive, for example. Another example I have in my landscape is between Intercom and SalesLoft. Coming up at the top, we're going to click New Sync, and we have a number of different CRMs and live chat tools we can connect. And I'm going to move down here to the Intercom section and look for the Close icon. However, before we kick off this process, you're going to need to log into your Close account and get an API key. If you aren't logged into Close, now would be a great time just to pause the video, log into Close, and come back. So once you've logged into Close, on the bottom left-hand side here, choose Integrations, then choose Settings, and choose API Keys. I'm going to create a brand new API key. I'm going to call this Highways Sync. I'll just say demo at the end. I always recommend to use names for your API keys to remember, so you know which API keys you're using by which systems, and never share an API key between systems. So go ahead and click Create and copy that new API key to your clipboard. You're going to need it in just a moment. Coming back to Highways Sync, once again we'll navigate to our new sync and look for the Intercom to Close sync and click Connect. This will bring us to an OAuth flow where we'll need to register our app with Intercom and accept the permissions. You can also choose your landscape here at the top if you need to. I'm going to use our production landscape and click Authorize Access. On the next page, I'll need to enter the API key which we just got from Close, paste that in and click Save. And there we have it. Our systems are now set up to sync. I'm just going to go ahead and navigate to the new setup here and walk you through some of the options. So we have the option to automatically create contacts. So what this does is when a conversation is created or updated, we search your contacts in Close, and if this contact does not exist, we will curate it. We also create a matching lead, or we use an existing lead if there is one available. In terms of lead matching, we first look for email address matches, and if not, we fall back to domains. The next option here is available to you is for creating activities. This way you can track what's happening and what happened to certain contacts within Close at a glance. Scrolling down, you can also assign ownership. So if the owner in Intercom and you have a user in Close that uses the same email address, we can match them automatically. We don't override assignments. So if someone was already the owner in Close, we won't overlook that. You can also sync the conversations to that contact. I'll demonstrate this in Close in just a moment. And we also allow you to map attributes. So for example, just as an example, I'm mapping the email in Intercom to a custom field I've called Intercom Phone. These can be any attributes you wish, and we push in both directions. So that's from Intercom into Close and from Close into Intercom. So if we come into Close here, you'll notice we were looking at all our leads. Highways sync leads here at the top is an automatic lead our system creates to place contacts in if we can't match to an existing lead. So for example, if we can't match by email or domain, we'll automatically create a lead and place it in there for you. So if we just take a look at that particular lead, we can see a number of items have happened here. For example, the conversation has been pushed into Close from Intercom. Along with the links, you can jump directly back into Intercom if you wish. The full information, for example, the email and the author, along with the message that was sent. And scrolling down, we can see which contact this was created with. So this was a contact called Jonas, and also along the time that it happened. In addition, we can also track that the contact was created by Highways Sync via a custom activity. So that's a really quick overview of Highway Sync in action, moving data from Intercom into Close. We can't wait to see what you build with our tools, but if you have any questions, please leave a comment below or feel free to directly reach out to me at highways.io. Take care, stay safe.
Thanks so much, Colin. That was an awesome overview of what you can do by connecting Close and Intercom via the highways.io app. And I just want to share a few extra details on this partnership and this integration. First up, there's quite a few use cases for this, and I just want to highlight them very quickly. One is there is a app in the Intercom App Store, and we'll put a link to it in the chat so you can see it, where you can view the Close data directly from your Intercom inbox. You just install that onto your Intercom workspace, and you should connect your Close account via the API key, and you should be good to go. The next thing is what Colin demonstrated, which was syncing contacts and leads between Close and Intercom by setting up that sync that he demonstrated. And then through that sync, you're going to be able to have those chat conversations automatically come into Close, and those are being powered by custom activities. So you would be able to search for all the granular data within those Intercom chat conversations directly within Close, giving your team full context. And the way to get started with this is just go to highways.io/app/close. Their team is ready to answer your questions. There's a 14-day free trial, and then some additional subscription charges may apply. This is in beta, so please send feedback on any of all of that. But we're super excited about this. We hope for those of you that are using Intercom and Close, we now just made using both products significantly better. Okay, now I'm going to use the example of automating the creation of custom activities via Zapier. And the example I'm going to use is using a form product called Typeform. So there's a lot of these types of products out there. Ours of choice is Typeform, but there's Wufoo and a bunch of other form products that are out there. So all you have to do is make sure that whatever one you decide to use integrates with Zapier. So here is my sample form. I have a Bluth company form here where I just want basic information, and I'm going to put this on my website. And then here's what the form looks like online, when it's published, and they go through and they fill out the information. So now if we go over to Zapier, which when a new entry occurs in Typeform, via Zapier, I'm going to have that data go and look for an existing lead in Close, and if there isn't one, create a new lead and then add that custom activity to Close. So the first step in the Zap is with connecting my Typeform account. I was able to go and customize down to just the contact form that I had. Then I go in and choose Close as the app, and then I'm going to use the action event Find Lead. This is helpful because if somebody fills out the form multiple times, you can reduce the likelihood of a duplicate being created in your Close account by using the Find Lead action. And then I'm going to go and customize this lead data and say, okay, well, I want it to search for the email address from the form in the lead to check and see if that is going to find an existing lead or not. And then if the lead doesn't exist yet, you can go through and fill out the form data from the type form right here, right into the same action step within Zapier. Then there's the office email, and then that's it. That's all the data for this one. Then the third step will be, once that lead is either found or created, it's going to create a custom activity. And the way to customize an activity is that you want to use the new lead from step 2 that was created, find or create lead and close, use the ID there. The custom activity I want to have is this one that I pre-built called website form submission. And then within Zapier, we're going to show you the fields that are associated with that custom activity. So in this case, we have the contact, and we're going to use the primary contact ID that was found in the previous step with the lead. Then we're going to insert the URL. This helps for attribution, though in this case I'm going to put the URL of the type form, so when I want to look at all of the leads via search that came in via this form, I could just search for the URL that came through with it. And then the message, which is a custom activity field, I'm going to attach the message that was sent in via the type form. So once this all is filled out and should be correct, I'm going to go and test this out and see if it works. So now we're testing. Boom, the test activity was just sent to Close. So now if we go into Close and we want to go look for this information and where this website form came in, I got to create a search query and a smart view to filter down to the leads that were created via this type form or have that custom activity on it. So I'm going to go to narrow your results, and then listed out we have all the custom activities that you have associated with it. Then I'm going to go and see, okay, where the fields where the contact is present. So that filters down to that Wayne Enterprise lead that was just filtered in. But then to make this search query dynamic, I want to look or filter just the leads that haven't been contacted before. So now I have a search for where it looks for all the custom activity instances of this type, or the events, and then where the times communicated is 0. So now I'm going to save this as new website form leads. And now I have this saved. So anytime via this Zap that I've just set up, when they fill out the form on Typeform, it's going to go into Close, look to see if there's an existing lead. If the lead isn't there, it's going to create a new one, and then it's going to attach a custom activity or that event of them filling out that form onto the lead in Close. So now when I click into this lead, I see the custom activity information here. So that's how you automate using a form product that integrates with Zapier to where somebody can fill out a form on your website and have that data automatically create a lead in Close and then a custom activity in Close that you can search for. All right, that wraps up everything that we have prepared for you today. I hope this webinar was helpful and efficient in helping you understand what you need to do to now go execute and make an impact in your business with this new functionality in Close. Now, I want to make a formal last call for questions. So if you haven't asked a question yet or you still have a question that needs to be answered, please go into the questions tab in Livestorm, ask your question, and we'll make sure we answer it here in the next 2 minutes. If you have a question that pops in 5 minutes after this ends, no worries. Just shoot an email to support@close.com, and our support team will gladly help you out and get you where you need to be. So again, my name is Nick from Close. We're going to leave the stream open for a few more minutes to make sure those last questions come in. But until then, stay safe. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks.